What's up, mofos? Welcome back to another YouTube video. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm pretty sure he said that, but I don't know why I just turned like southern there. Anyways, this is gonna be a long mother cracking video, so let's get right into it. Okay, so starting in May, I actually didn't read any books. I'm making sure my microphone's on. I actually didn't read any books up until May this year, and now we're almost at 24 books. So I think I'm crushing it, you know? Having a lot of kids, I think I'm crushing it. We started with our Empyrean series reread. So we have Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I read these. I've actually read every single one and had to wait for the second book. So I read this one, I think it was September of 2022. When I first read this, it was a 6-star read. It was one of my favorite books for, I want to say, about 2 years, if you can freaking believe that. It's dragons, okay? I love me a dragon. I grew up on like Rick Riordan, all of his Percy Jackson series. So for me, this like hit home. Reading this again, it was better the second time. Honestly, it was better the second time, and I would give it a 7-star read. Okay, and this is in my god tier. Like, the Empyrean series has been in my god tier since I started reading, and it will continue unless book 4 is just fucking ass. But if you don't know what Fourth Wing is about, basically it's about Violet Sorrengail. She was raised as a scribe her whole entire life, and you're kind of thrown into the book where her mom has decided, nope, you're going to be a dragon rider. Okay, because there's it's like an academy based setting, and there's different types of quadrants. So there's the rider's quadrant, there's the healer's quadrant, there is the scribe quadrant, and then I'm pretty sure there's also like an infantry, but I don't know if it's considered a quadrant. Her whole life, she was a scribe. Her dad was a scribe, she was a scribe, and then her mom, her brother, and her sister were all dragon riders, and she just like one day was like, yep, you're gonna be one. So she's thrown into that. She has to go through basically a bunch of obstacles. I wouldn't really call them obstacles. Like, she has to go through a bunch of different like life or death situations to get to like bonding a dragon, because you have to like learn how to do all the shit with the dragon, like climb it and all that stuff. So it's like very intense, and I think you start off at such a good point. This book, there was no like moment for me. Actually, no, that's not true. When I first read it, it took me about 100 pages to get into, because I didn't understand the world. There's quite a bit of world building, I think, in the beginning, but then once you like get into it, you're like, oh, this is fucking amazing. I also want to say this is my first enemies to lovers book. I know a lot of people say that's a spoiler, but like I feel like everyone knows that it's enemies to lovers, but it's not really enemies to lovers, because I feel like, you know, if you've read it, you know. This hits home for me. I think the second time, if you're thinking about doing a reread before Threshing Day is coming out in September, I would suggest doing a reread, because yeah, it was better the second time around. That was like a 7-star, I want to say, god tier. Let's just say 6-star, I guess, god tier. This Iron Flame actually took me a lot longer to finish, but I think when I finished it the first time I read it, I did give it a 4.5 star. Now I have upped it to a 5-star. The second time was way better. I honestly don't understand the hate with it. Like, I understand there's way more world building and less romantasy, and I think people go into the Fourth Wing and Empyrean series hoping it is more romance based, but this one was just more world building, less of the love, and I think it actually really paid off. And a lot of people I've heard said like nothing happens. I'm like, bitch, did we read the same book? I'm like, do you know how much shit happens? And originally, Rebecca Yarros actually wanted to make this 2 books, and her publisher said no, so she crammed 2 books into one. And that's why there's so many words. I think there's over 250,000 words, is what she said. So, this is now a 5-star, and I can't really tell you it's about, because you gotta read it Fourth Wing first. Next, we read Onyx Storm. Okay, so Onyx Storm took me longer to finish. I think it was because when I read Onyx Storm, it had been 2 years since I read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, so it took me a lot to get into, and I actually listened to the audiobook just so I could like get through it, and I think I missed a lot when I read it back in 2025. I think it was 2025 when it was released. It was 2025. So when I read it back then, I feel like I missed a lot, and I feel like I wasn't really in it as much as I would love to be. The second time, oh my gosh, I like it was so much easier to understand and easier to read because I had Fourth Wing and Iron Flame so fresh in my mind. And originally I rated this a 4-star because I still enjoyed it. I still loved it the first time around and I still was like so happy to be fucking home. And then the second time around, it was like even more intense. And I listened to it with dramatized adaptation, which I highly recommend. It is so good, the dramatized adaptation. And I gave it a 4.5 star. Not quite a 5-star, just because I feel as though there's so much going on. I feel like there was just a lot. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, why is so much happening all at once? I can't even handle this. And I think I don't know. I just feel like so many emotions. I feel like Iron Flame and Fourth Wing were better, in my opinion. But it also is a middle book. So I gave it a 4.5 star out of 5. By Alex Astor. This was the biggest book, I think, on TikTok for when it first came out. I would say it's good, but it wasn't like my favorite book of all time. I think it was overhyped, in my opinion. I did love around page, I think it was like page 200 is when I really got into it, or page 250. And I was like, okay, I like this. Because I think there's just a lot of like, she did this, he did that, she did this, he did that. And I couldn't really imagine the world as much as I would like to and as much as I have in other books. So if you don't know what Starside is about, I actually don't even remember her name. That's, her name is Eris, I think. I have a whole TikTok vlog on it, so Eris. Her name is Eris. We follow her the whole time. And basically every 50 years, the gates open up to the immortal side of their world. So there's like a mortal side and then there's an immortal side. And there's like a challenge that happens every 50 years where if you race, they basically, a bunch of people have to race to get to the end. And if you get to the end and you win, you get a cup of magic and you can kind of use that for whatever you want. Eris goes into this wanting to actually destroy the gods who run basically their whole lives because of what they've done to her when she was younger. So it's kind of like a revenge type story, but like make it fantasy. A lot of people compare it to Hunger Games. I don't think it's anything like Hunger Games because it takes place over like multiple like days. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember, but and like there's more creatures and stuff, and she kind of ends up teaming up with Raker, which is a little masked daddy, if you ask me. He's it was just a lot, and I actually really enjoyed once it picked up to a certain point. Then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm eating this the fuck up. And the ending, holy shit, the ending was fucking insane. Like, but if you are reading this and you can't get into it, just know it took me about 200 pages. Even now, I think I haven't thought about it since. I think I rated it a 4-star when I first finished it. I honestly might even give it a 3.5 because I think I'll like book 2 better just because of where book 1 left off of. But I don't know. I think it was definitely overhyped in my opinion because reading is subjective. Okay. Next, we read the whole off-campus series. I'm kind of just going to go through these because I don't want this to be like a 150 million minute video. So we read The Deal, and I actually don't know what I gave this. Pretty sure I gave it a 4-star. What did I give this? Yeah, 4-star. This is The Deal. If you don't know what Off Campus is about, it's basically a bunch of college students and it's like interconnected standalones. I would recommend reading them in order though, because then you get more of the story. It's kind of like a friend group of guys and all of their love interests. It's hockey romance. So they're all hockey players. And if you haven't seen the TV show, I would say the TV show is actually better than the books, in my opinion. I think they took all the good parts of this book and made it really well, but I do also recommend reading it because it still added more to the show even. So I gave this one 4 stars. I think it was really good. I do think the writing is a little bit immature, and I think it's like if you've read Windy City series, it's like a younger version of that, if that makes sense. Like it's like a more like I would say Windy City series is like for adults and like if you drink wine at night kind of thing. If you drink wine with your spaghetti, that's like Windy City series. If you have like sparkling juice with your spaghetti, which I do. That's off campus. Like it's more of like a YA, I feel like, even though there is smut, I feel like it's more like, I don't know, just more immature writing. Like it was, I don't know. Her writing, like I wouldn't say her writing's bad, but I wouldn't say it's good. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just very like easy to read, easy to get into. There's not a lot of depth. It's just fun to read. You know, it's like a trash TV kind of, but yeah, you know, there's a lot of cringy moments. There's so many cringy moments. The Mistake I actually didn't really like. I gave it, I think, a 2-star. I might have given it a 3-star, but I think it is a 2-star. It's just we didn't get into the characters as much, and I don't really know Logan. I don't really know Grace. So gave it a 2-star. Haven't thought much about it. Don't really care. I've never been a Logan girly. Never will be a Logan girly. So the score broke me into a fucking million pieces. I don't ever want to relive this. I don't ever want to reread this just because I died a little bit inside. So that was fun. I think I gave this a 3.5, 4-star. It was good. I think there was a lot of repetitions in certain parts, and I think it was a little prolonged and it didn't need to be because it is the biggest book in the whole series, and I do think it didn't need to be. But I think the depth of the characters was actually really good. I do think I wish we would have known a character in here a little bit more before something crazy happened. If you've read this, you'll understand what I'm saying. But yeah, overall good. The Goal I gave 5 stars. I think it hit home because I am a single mom and I do know what it's like because if you don't know, this is a pregnancy trope. So basically, she ends up getting pregnant and it's just like a whole mess of things, and it really hit home for me because I was young and pregnant. So 5 stars, sobbed my eyes out. I think this was the best of the whole series. Yeah, I recommend the series. It's not my favorite, but I think overall the whole series I'd give a 3-star. But that's just my opinion, you know. Every Summer After, it was alright. Like, I haven't thought about it since. The TV show was like fucking horrible. I'm sorry. I couldn't even watch the TV show. I didn't even finish it. It was so freaking boring. And they also ruined the TV show. It was like a completely different thing. It's not even the same as the book. And like, oh my gosh, it was so freaking annoying how they like included Delilah. So basically it takes, okay, I'm going to explain what this book is about to you. It takes place between 2 people, okay? I don't even remember their freaking names. Okay, Sam and Percy. They're childhood best friends. It's like childhood best friends to lovers type thing. Okay? Something crazy happens and they don't talk for like 12 years and you're wondering what the fuck it is, okay? What it is fucking stupid basically. I think in the book they handled it really well. I actually enjoyed how they did it in the book. I will say it's like a quick summer read. It's not something that's going to like change your life, but I did enjoy reading it, and I think I read it in like 2 days. I enjoyed it as it is, but I don't think I'll ever think about it again. I just forgot the characters' names. So, and also, I'm sorry, but the TV show fucking sucks. The TV show was horrible. Okay. Like it was. I think I gave that a 4-star or a 3.5. 3.5 or 4-star. One of those two. Next we read The Fall Risk. I'll put it up on the screen. It's just a novella by Abby Jimenez. I think it was actually really well done for how many pages it was. I think it was like 130 pages. It was cute. It was romantic, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I think I gave it about a 3-star. And I definitely am going to read more of her novellas. I loved it so much. Next, we read all 6 books of the Windy City series, including In Her Own League. So In Her Own League is kind of a spinoff of the whole Windy City series because it takes place between 5 different books, and each book is a different type of sport. So the first book is a hockey player, the second book is a basketball player, the third and fourth book are baseball players, and the fifth book is a hockey player. And you kind of go between all of this friend group and their love interests. I think this is one of the most, like, I'm not really a heavy romance reader. I would say I mostly love fantasy or romantasy. And I think it was actually really well done. I did give book 1 a 1-star. Book 2, my favorite book of this whole year right now. So this one is actually a 6-star. Book 3, I gave a 5-star. Book 4, I gave a 4-star. And book 5, I gave a 5-star. And then In Her Own League, I gave a 5-star as well. And I think it's very close to the right move. They are very enjoyable, very bingeable, and I definitely recommend reading them. I wouldn't say it's in my god tier, but I would say it's something that has left an impact on me. I think a part of me actually changed. Like, and not in like a crazy way like my god tiers have. It is so fucking good and I highly recommend it. It's such a whirlwind of emotions. I definitely think that I'm going to buy all the books and have them on display. Next, we did read Direbound and the sequel, Furrybound. If you've watched my vlog, you know what I've rated them. If you want to know what Direbound is about, basically Direbound is about a girl named Marin, and her sister ends up getting kidnapped, and she's thrown into a competition because she wants to go to the front lines of the war in order to find her sister. So she's basically wants to go there. It ends up being the bonding trials, which doesn't happen very often. So she's thrown into it. You have to like climb this mountain and bond wolves. You don't die if you don't bond a wolf. So she ends up bonding one of this like wolves who hasn't bonded someone in like 100 years, and they can't they won't communicate, which is annoying because I hate a miscommunication trope. It was so fast paced. It was so good. It was so interesting. And I think this is actually the indie version, so I did buy it when it wasn't traditionally published. I did rate this one 5 stars when I first read it, and then upon thinking, like I said in my other video, I am going to give it a 4 star just because the plot twist I did predict, and I also predicted the plot twist in book 2 when I was in book 1. So this one I definitely highly recommend. But if you like my opinion, stop there because I rated this one motherfucking star. Yeah, 1 star because it literally I wanted to die. I almost DNF'd, but I was filming a video, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to DNF. There were so many holes. There's so many things you're like, oh, this happened in book 1. Please tell me in book 2. No, didn't happen. The whole time we're basically trying to like work on Marin's emotions. I feel like everyone's just like, Marin, control yourself. Like she's some fragile fucking doll. And she knows nothing. And like I've said this multiple times, but like she knows nothing about the world. So we know nothing. So going into it, you're like really confused about how everything works and who's lying and who's gaslighting. And then all of a sudden these random things happen as well. Like someone dies and you're just like, what was that? And then someone leaves and then someone like hates them for a whole like 3 chapters. Like it's just unnecessary drama. And there was no like focal point that was persistent and no focal point that you're like, okay, this is the number one thing we got to go through. Like there was no plot. The plot was gone. So that's everything I read from May to July. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it's all over the place. This is my first wrap-up video. It will get better each time I do film one. So sorry about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to. Turn on your post notifications. I do post every single Monday. I'm going to be trying to post on Fridays and Saturdays as well, every second week. So I'll alternate. And I have new series coming out. I'll link them down below, or you can just check out my playlist. Whatever is up to you. I actually don't know if I'll put it in the description. We'll see because I am tired as fuck and I just want to read. So, love you guys. Have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you again next Monday. Peace.